We live. Appreciate you tuning in. Got off with my man Shane. Popped in as I was getting up out. Appreciate you stopping through last night. I'm about to continue on some more of the sports talk. I want to resume some more sound bites I had from last night, and I picked up some more earlier, and then I got to go back and play what Teddy Karras, the center for the Cincinnati Bengals, had to say as well. So we're gonna start with what Coach Zach Taylor had to say following the loss on Sunday. So let's hear a little bit of what he had to say at his press conference. And I got some clips from his press conference from Monday as well.
They look inward.
Listen, so again, we just got to, as coaches, we got to spend this week finding a way to help everybody and get it done, because it's sick. It's sick to lose like that. It's sick. That's what happened. So we got to own it, and we got to keep finding ways to improve and keep finding ways to find a win. Just these last 2 weeks, it hasn't happened.
Are you surprised, frustrated, angry, whatever?
Well, we got to find a way to get them fixed. We are. I mean, we're working like crazy. We're trying to do everything we can to get it done. And so, again, it's not because of a lack of work, lack of effort, lack of trying to cover every single stone to get it done. But
not Geno Stone.
It is tough. This is just the result that we're dealing with. 3 today, I guess, is what they were.
Cup came to play at 9-yard line there. Were you thinking about possibly trying to force them into their final timeout?
We ran the ball. I mean, that's what we did in the first play. We ran the ball. So you get cute, and you force them to do that, and then you have no points, and then the game's over. So
I was in the live stream, not live stream earlier, but I read this some comments from a page I came across that was talking about Bengals, and I replied to a comment I seen, and then they replied to me basically saying something along the lines of, I asked, did he think that he was, he said something about what Zach was saying, something about when they asked what decision about going forward or kicking a field goal from fourth and 13, because it was at a point to where left tackle OBJ, Orlando Brown Jr., we had just got a first and 5. Yeah, it was first and goal from the 5. And following that play, Orlando Brown had it, decided to do some extra shit, which caused us to get a personal foul and a 15-yard penalty, which put us back to the 20. And again, which led to the 4th and 13, which resulted in a missed field goal. Probably if the circumstances weren't as dire as they were, down 14, you probably go ahead and go for it on 4th and 13. You know what I'm saying? But you just can't have those mishaps after the play, and you're in a position to, cut into the lead from a shorter distance. So again, do we want to continue to keep on blaming coaching? These are adults. These ain't Pop Warner. You even give a little leniency in high school. College, you better know motherfucking better, you know what I'm saying? And then ain't no excuses when you get to the highest level. I mean, it's a privilege. It's an honor. If you're physically, you know what I'm saying, built to do what these guys do on the gridiron every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. You have to help your coach out. That's doing what he can, that's trying to find a way, you know what I'm saying? The thing that I was stressing about, like coach finding a way, you know what I'm saying? I have to try to have an open mind about where he's coming from, you know what I'm saying, because I never coached on no level. You know what I'm saying? I'm a student, you know what I'm saying? I just love the game, you know what I'm saying? But I'm also learning as I go, because I don't know shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just on here spewing right now. So when you putting your coach who's passionate, who who putting in the work you got to put in your side of the work. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what else coach has to say.
We just trust our guys to get out there and make a play, and that's just the way it goes.
Is it as simple as bringing Colston down after he makes that catch there, just someone tackling him?
Yeah. Get him on the ground, force him into a tough field goal. At that point, once the play's been completed, make him execute. And again, we just didn't get him on the ground, score a touchdown. So that's a tough one to stomach, but it's the result is the result. And so again, I feel sick right now, but all we can do is pick ourselves up and keep fighting. And that's the beauty of being in this profession and being in this locker room is we see what we're made of. We're going to keep fighting. We know there's going to be pretty loud noise out there. Criticism, it's deserved when we're the record we are and the results we've had. We're going to keep showing our character and keep fighting and find a way to lead these guys and find a way to make some plays and get some wins and keep the season alive. That's what we're going to do.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just an apologist. As I hear people like this throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? When you're and again, you know what I'm saying? I know the level I'm on. Again, repeat myself. I don't coach. Haven't coached. You know what I'm saying? But I love the game of football and sports in general. I hear accountability. Because again, he says he's trying to find a way. You know what I'm saying? When these players are going to find a way, you know what I'm saying? When we got to put a nice bulk of the responsibility on these guys who we endorse by buying gear, going to the games, season tickets and stuff like that. I was on somebody else's page earlier, and I watched some of the content. It was pre-recorded. I was playing it back, and so he basically was saying like there's a lot of finger pointing going on. And he said as far as like, the coach making a statement, I think after the Jets game, somebody needs to step up and make a play. And that's offense and defense. Because again, offense finally found their way. And for some reason, defense was struggling, you know what I'm saying, but not as bad as they did these past couple of weeks, in my opinion. But offense, you know what I'm saying, when the defense did make plays and got off the field, as I said before, you know what I'm saying, it seems like, I always got this running joke of, it's a 60-minute game. With the Bengals, it seems like the defense is always out there 55 of the 60 minutes because the offense doesn't sustain drives and put points on the board, like Chase Brown stated in his rant with the media yesterday. You realize that they were carrying them, you know what I'm saying, when the offense was struggling. But now y'all found y'all way, and now you want to kind of like excuse. Nah, ain't no excuses, man. You know what I'm saying, because you got to think about the Bengals were 3-6. If y'all sustain drives and put points on the board in the first 4 weeks, like I said, you won the first 2 games. You know what I'm saying, then you went on your little skid of four straight losses. You know what I'm saying? Where was the offense then? Because I'm sure the defense was making enough plays to get y'all the ball back, but y'all not crossing the 50. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting into the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Then you're not getting into the end zone. So if the player's not holding themselves, you know what I'm saying, you got Jamar Chase saying, like, I don't want nobody coming and telling me about my imperfections, you know what I'm saying? But nigga, you've been here how long? And you got some say-so. Hold yourself accountable and hold your team, your brothers. As Joe Flacco is like to state, like we a unit, we a family. You know what I'm saying? We brothers. That's not sever, man. Like let's not fall apart. You know what I mean? So, at some point, and I get a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? We got fans. It's just fans of players. I'm starting to come to grips. And again, it may be a reach. A lot of these people talking that's covering the Bengals, y'all not fans of the Bengals per se. You're not a fan of Mike Brown. You're not a fan of Katie Blackburn or her husband. You're just not a fan of Duke Tobin. You're just not a fan of this organization, you know what I'm saying? But you would like to see a Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase or T. Higgins go elsewhere and succeed because the Cincinnati Bengals are wasting away their prime years and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? So, not saying that there's no validity in holding the organization, coaching and stuff accountable, you know what I'm saying? But the people that are getting paid, again, that we endorse, that we support, I support the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? And I love the players, you know what I'm saying, if they want to be here. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that I always say, like, again, when I came to grips, at some point, like, there's a lot of people that come here to think that the Bengals are the place to come and die. You know, you had several teams in the past, the Browns, you know what I'm saying? You may have had it once upon a time, the Detroit Lions, you know, you name it. At some point, you know, teams don't have the success that they had, you know what I'm saying? That attracted people to come and want to cheer for them and things of that nature. So let's hear some more of what Coach got to say.
Fixed on defense.
We're going to find a way. We're going to do everything we can to find a way. I think it's impossible for me to say yes or no. We've been trying everything we can. So we'll just keep working at it.
How do you manage the locker room and not having the offensive players feel any sort of
Yeah,
resentment?
we fight like hell every single day to maintain the culture we have. Fight every single day. Talk to everybody I can possibly talk to. And we're fighting. And these guys, if you watch them practice, they are like hell, working like crazy in practice. And so again, we just got to get some momentum.
I mean, the season there's a lot of talk about the defense potentially being better. Through 9 games, why do you think that hasn't materialized?
Just got to find a way. You know, we're working hard at it, and I know that's a hard thing to listen to me say over and over. That's the answer. There's not a magic formula that we're just gonna we would do it if we could, and so we're just gonna keep finding ways. We got the bye week. We got to keep working through it. See if there's something we're missing. See if there's something we can enhance. We'll work at it.
How frustrating is it that Joe Flacco plays through the injury, has the performance he does, and that to go to waste essentially? How tough is that given what he's playing?
And there's a lot of great performances today. What Joe Flacco did for us this week, you'll never forget. You know, and I mean, just knowing what our quarterback room is working through right now, what Joe Burrow's doing too, and Joe Flacco, and what Jake's, all the things he's done, it's a really mentally tough room that leads by example. Joe Flacco got the opportunity to show that this week. That's him. Joe Burrow working like crazy behind the scenes to do everything he can to help our team. Joe Flacco, I mean, he barely lift his arm this week, you know, and he's willing to go put himself out there for a bunch of teammates that he's been with for 3 weeks. You know, he's a football player. That's what he's out up here instead. He said, I play football for a living. That's what I do. And oftentimes, you need that throughout the locker room. Guys that are just football players, and they remember that, and they'll go out there and do whatever it takes to help their team win a game, no matter what, no matter the circumstances. You got a bye week next week, get a chance to get rested up. That's how Joe Flacco looks at it. And so he went out there and put himself on the line. I'm sure he's going to be in a ton of pain tomorrow. And we'll give him 10 days off and see if he can come back and do it again.
Yeah.
Tough decision. It's a tough decision.
Okay. I end up let's see if I can get back close to where I was.
Let's go losing everything we can. So we'll just keep working at it.
How do you
Defense potentially being better. Through 9 games, why do you
Every single day to maintain the culture and takes to help if we could. And there's a lot of great performances today. Where he lift his arm.
Yeah, what I wanted to say was shout out to Joe Flacco, man. Could have easily been a worse day with Jacob Brown in at the helm, who I cheered for until I couldn't. Like, damn, Brownie. What happened? He didn't have he had a nice little run when Joe Burrow went down in 2023, helped us rip off some wins to finish 9-8. No playoffs, I'm saying, but a winning record. And but Joe Flacco to come in, like Coach mentioned, only been here for less than a month or so, and came out and worked. You know what I'm saying? Put in their work. You know what I'm saying? But a solid veteran who refuses to throw his teammates under the bus, and it was one of because he's been around forever, but 18 seasons, and so he's seen enough. Been in a few locker rooms. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Like, okay. So he's seasoned, you know what I mean? And got to go back to work, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, quick recovery for him with the bye week. Hopefully he's ready to come back when we head to Pittsburgh, and he's ready to go. If not, hope Jake Brown, you know what I'm saying, putting in his work, studying, getting his film, playbook or whatever you need to do. Stay ready. You got to get ready, you know what I mean? So again, this is their profession, man. This is what they do for a living. You know, rest of us, you know what I'm saying, we work regular 9 to 5s and take some of that 9 to 5 money and then, you know, try to put in, you know, support this team. So I understand the gripes, but fans have to take accountability, you know what I'm saying, understanding if you've been saying the same shit for, I've seen people say, I've been dealing with this shit for 50 years. Have you? And you want to blame Zach for that? Because he hasn't been coaching his team for 50 years. You know what I mean? Man, say he put in his work to do his best, you know what I'm saying? But again, when are you going to hold the people that play the game that's out there accountable? I mean, you have to at some point, because they on the field, you know what I mean? They have to communicate with their coaches if they seeing something like, hey, coach. So if they ain't doing that, you know what I'm saying, this is a lost cause. Also, I heard somebody say something about there are two kind of football players. You got football players that are passionate, that love the game, and then you have players that they're just good at it. They just happen to be skilled at it, you know what I'm saying? But they realize, oh, I can get a payday by playing this game that I was playing for free, you know what I'm saying, that you love. But then all of a sudden, when the compensation comes in, the endorsements and stuff come in. And that was one of my fears after our 2 playoff runs. You know what I'm saying? We had the Super Bowl and then we had the AFC Championship. So back-to-back AFC Championships. You know what I'm saying? And the endorsements came. I was like, man, they're about to start getting noticed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a part of the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Primarily because of Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? The guy, like again, what he did at LSU, you know what I'm saying, which is historic. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that away from him, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't always guarantee to translate over into the NFL for a lot of players. But I believe Joe Burrow is a football player, you know what I'm saying, that actually loves the game. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, his health. And we got to get him back up. But yeah, you have those, you know, I think we got quite a few guys that's just skilled and they're good at it, you know what I'm saying, but they don't care. Because I think the thing is, and you know, it was a thing that Cincinnati, you know what I'm saying, you know, that'd be a good place to be because there's nothing there to do. I remember, I think Ryan Clark said something about that in Pittsburgh, you know what I'm saying? So the reason why we won a lot in Pittsburgh because it ain't nothing there to do. You know, I've never been to Pittsburgh, you know what I'm saying, so I can't, you know what I'm saying, solidify that if that's true or not. But I was like, okay, I don't take no offense to that, you know what I'm saying, because there's plenty to do in the city, you know what I'm saying? You just got to find it and whatever it is that you enjoy, you know what I'm saying? But you can find something to do. But yeah, it's not no South Beach or Vegas or anything like that, you know what I mean? So the thing they used to plague us too, you know what I'm saying? It was during the Marvin Lewis era as well, as guys like to go to the clubs. And TJ Houshmandzadeh was on a platform that I came across last night, late Sunday night, and he was saying something about how, like, you know, he was furious about how, like, you know, just the back-to-back giving up with 85 points and over 1,000 yards to 2 teams that, you know, people felt like the Bengals should beat. It's any given Sunday. Had to throw that cliche out there, you know what I'm saying? But whether you want to believe it or not, the Jets and the Bears are NFL teams. And I made a statement in the comment section on the page where I was saying, what made y'all think that what made y'all think that the Jets and the Bears were just going to roll over and submit to the Bengals? The Bengals ain't that good either. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had tried to say, like, oh, they're the Jets are 1-7 and the Bears is this and that. And they're not good. I was like, neither are the Bengals. I know we want to be biased and all that good shit, you know what I'm saying? But the Bengals ain't good, you know what I'm saying? So what made you think that, just because, we got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, you know what I'm saying? You still got an awful defense, you know what I'm saying? They can't tackle worth shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to, you know, I think, again, we got the high hopes for the team, you know what I'm saying? But right now, we can hope for them, you know what I'm saying? But they don't have that passion that we putting out there. But at the same time, our passion is turning over to where we want to fire everybody. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you can't have a lot of success with that. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, I'll have to go back and look to see how many coaches the Bengals have had since 1968. I think it's up close to around 10 or so. You know what I'm saying? But I have to go back and actually look at it. You know what I'm saying? But versus how Pittsburgh only had 3, and since I don't know if it was Chuck Noll, you had Bill Cowher, and then Mike Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? So they keep their coaches along. You know what I'm saying, but that's a franchise that also wins too. You know what I'm saying? I want to go into see if I can find Teddy Karras's. Let's see if I can get to it. Let's see.
Everybody else focus on what they need. I mean, he's a freaking. You've never done that, you said? The covenant onside? I've never done that. No.
Okay, go Teddy.
Yeah, that's what we're going to keep our foot all the way down the throttle, and we'll be good. We're not going to, just can't lose the locker room. That's it. We can't lose.
No, that's
I'm not going to point
the end of
fingers.
what
I could have been better today. That's how I'm feeling leaving the field. Like, I'll focus on me and let everybody else.
But I'm if I get time, I'll try to play that clip too, to where Zach holds Chase Brown accountable for that, for putting that statement out there. A lot of people agree with Chase Brown. I'm saying, like, that somebody needs to say something and things of that nature. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But when Zach's point is like, okay, he didn't agree with how Chase Brown did it, you know what I'm saying, putting it out there as far as like to the media. But at the same time, he didn't do well either. I think he had dropped yeah, he did. I remember that, you know what I'm saying, it was over the middle and he dropped it, you know what I'm saying, which could have set us up to put more points on the board, put us in a position, you know what I'm saying, to where, we can just keep moving the chains. And he dropped the ball, and he made a few mistakes himself as well as he did. He had some good plays, you know what I'm saying, that was positive. So Zach thing was, he has to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, he's not making the errors that he make before he can sit there and, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. Let's see if we can get to Teddy real quick. Might have to finish out letting Chase Brown talk, but
focus on what they need to get better at, and then when we come together and against the next opponent, we're all going to be better. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Very grateful to be healthy and
it's Teddy
play
right
in the
here.
NFL, and excited to see my family tonight. Obviously, 2 heartbreakers in a row, pretty crazy. So, I've never recovered an onside kick in the NFL, and then went down and won. So that was. I told everyone, sit down. It's not over. Obviously, it wasn't. So maybe I won't say that next time. You've never done that, you said? The covenant onside? I've never done that. No, it was pretty unique, pretty cool. That was a really good kick by Ebb, because it didn't go 10, but it hit the guy. What did you learn about Joe Flacco this week? He's a grinder. I mean, he's a freaking Hall of Famer. Guy goes out there. You should see his freaking AC, man. It's like crazy. Goes out there, throws what, 500, 475? That'd be jeez. Come on, man. You can't ask for more than that out of your queue. So, what a great addition to the team. You've seen a run of ball. You ever seen anything like that, King?
Can't ask a lot from your quarterback. 41 years old. 6 years younger than me. You know what I'm saying? A fucking gladiator out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoulder was ailing him, and he found a way, because he was questionable up until the game, and the boy got out there and performed. I mean, NFL history out here, man. 407 for he was up there with Brett Favre, Tom Brady, and now he's the third quarterback over 40 to put up 400 and say, well, he got some most. You know what I'm saying? He's tops now, you know what I'm saying? But he passed Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying, for having the most yards, 470 yards, 4 touchdowns. Is incredible. He had a 100 passing rating. That's fucking awesome, man. So offense, y'all better continue to grind and protect and start making blunder ass personal fouls at the 5-yard line. Pushing us back to the 20. You know what I'm saying? All right. players holding themselves accountable. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't want to hear. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like coaches, you know, I ain't heard from Al yet, you know what I'm saying, but just from Zach being the head coach, you know, Jay trying to find ways, you know what I'm saying, but guys got a meeting.
No, I did not see anything like that game. It was a crazy ending. You know, hard to denote something as a classic when you lose, but that was an all-time game.
8 days ago, if I would have said, hey, you're going to score 80 points as a team, because you had 7 today with Charlie, but 80 and be 0-2, what do you think your reaction would have been?
I don't think I would have had a reaction, James. I think I would have called you a liar.
How do you fight frustration and avoiding the stuff, the finger pointing type stuff that you need to try to avoid in the locker room? And where do you start with that as a captain?
Well, we'll let the city do enough finger pointing. I'm sure there's enough to go around.
Boy, is the city doing that.
But, hey, I mean, we just got to get ready to go. We get a week off, and then we got Pittsburgh.
My bad. But anyway, that's pretty much a good sound bite from Teddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the finger pointing really gonna do? Yeah, you can say that Jamar Chase kind of hinted at that. You can say that Chase Brown hinted at that. What I will do, which I should have did before I got on here, you know what I'm saying, because I did see that it was some the defense finally did speak to the media, you know, so they didn't speak to them on Sunday, but they did speak to the media on Monday, and I don't know, maybe I'll bring that back on another stream, you know what I'm saying, if necessary, but hold yourself accountable. I agree with Jamar Chase on that, but at the same time, don't allow fans and media to divide y'all. Like this is what y'all do for a living. Y'all entertain us. You know, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you know, fans, we get beside ourselves, you know what I'm saying, with the fantasy football and the prize picks and all that stuff, you know what I mean? I think it's saturating. It has saturated the game, you know what I'm saying, because it's like it is more of a business than entertainment, because, you know, you got all the endorsements and the sponsorships and stuff like that. I don't want to get too deep into all that, you know what I'm saying, but finger pointing ain't gonna get you nowhere amongst the brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? As fans, you know, we gonna do what we do, but at the same time, we got to realize, like, we got to go about our regular scheduled programming when there ain't no entertainment for us, you know what I'm saying, or find us something else to do instead of just beating down the team that we really don't have to follow and cheer for. I'm gonna go to okay, here we go. A little glitch. Let's jump into some more Zach Taylor.
Such thin margins yesterday, you know, 1 or 2 plays ago, just to play with Orlando on the end sportsmanlike after the play. What did he say to you, and what did you say back to him on that?
I don't remember what I said to him. I know he's been accountable multiple times yesterday and today for what happened to me privately, to the team publicly. And so, again, it's something that we can't go from first and goal in the 5 to second goal in the 20. That's 4 points off the board. We left a lot of points on the board yesterday. It was, so, again, we're talking a lot about the defense in here, but offensively, I was really disappointed that we didn't score more points. And that's frustrating that, you know, when you have the opportunity to put more points on the board and not execute, could have found a way to win it that way, you know, and then fix the problems that we're having. But
came across a comment to that what Zach was saying about yeah, we are here right now shitting on the defense, you know what I'm saying, and rightfully so, you know what I'm saying. But the side of the ball that I'm known for didn't do as well as they could have, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, we mentioned Chase Brown dropping a couple of passes, or a pass that would have been significant to keep the drive moving, and to say, oh, we're putting up points now. Okay, that's cool, you know what I'm saying, and continue to keep on doing that, you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, you don't want to ruffle no feathers and keep on talking about what y'all didn't do weeks prior when y'all were struggling to put points on the board, you know what I'm saying. And you know, again, you know, everybody got to step up, you know what I'm saying. Somebody make a play. Okay, I messed that up. Let me see if I can bring that back.
where you plan, not execute, The 4th and long of where we wanted to be for the field goal. Down process to put more points on the board and not execute. Could have found a way to win it that way, and then fix the problems that we're having. But we just didn't get it done.
You mentioned yesterday you wanted to reflect on the intentional grounding, then the 4th down process as the field goal team went on the field. Kind of what was your takeaways? You talked
Yeah, we're right there on the fringe of where we wanted to be for the field goal. You're kind of making a decision at that point. Are you comfortable going down 4? At that point in the game with the score the way it was, and getting a stop and find a way to go score. And I thought that in the split second that's where we could go. It ended up being a really tough decision that either way, the 4th and long or the field goal, the percentages are probably very similar on how it's going to play out. Probably more so better off kicking the field goal than converting on the 4th and long. So again, there's an imperfect answer there that I think depending on game, weather, all that things could maybe change a little bit, could maybe make a different decision in a different game and come back to the decision I made.
I will say I would have wished that he would have been more decisive with that, because about time they got set. I think it was 8 seconds on the clock, and Money had I think that was a 54-yard field goal attempt, and he came up short. If he would have had a little bit more power behind it, it would have went through. You know what I'm saying? But he came short of the goalpost. You usually got to get time to at least give yourself a chance to, get some warm up, the little warm up kick they do, before they actually set up to kick the actual field goal, So I wish Coach would have been a little bit more decisive, But again, he did a moment, you just never know, because he would decide, should we go for it on 4th and 13?
So again, it's just there wasn't a great solution there on which way to go with that.
From the outside, Zach, a lot of people wonder why losing 5 of 6, the way the last 2 games have ended, why don't you make changes? Is the status quo acceptable? People wonder on the outside, why do you feel that you do have the solutions in the building, not make any change? Why is that?
Because I've been through this situation before. We've been through this situation many years and come out the other side playing for championships, winning divisions, by sticking with what we believe in and not doing what everybody wants you to do, by sticking with it. I'm thankful that in 2020 they didn't kick me out of here, so we were able to go to the Super Bowl the next year. And so
I think he only got 2 wins that year, and people was calling for his head. Joe Burrow went down, and it wasn't good. It was not good, but he didn't give up. He didn't give up. It's cool. Like you say, he appreciate the organization not giving up on him as much as the fans did. I think with our fan base, we pay attention too much. People always mention the Eagles. The Eagles, the way they do things. The way New England do things. New England's starting to get back on their shit, but New England was down for a while. But our fan base like to focus in on Kansas City. They do this. We're not them teams. We're just not them. I'd rather, if you can take something from them organizations and lead the rest, that's cool. But we don't need to be identical to no other team. Like I said, you take what you can use and you think and implement into what you do in your scheme. But I don't want to mimic. I want to be creative. That's why when Zach says I want to find a way, man, create one. Like if what you trying ain't working and it's something else that you like, what, I've been kind of savoring this. Try it out. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. So I don't want to be this carousel of coaching coming in. We dealt with that in the 90s. I kind of talked about it a little bit. I don't want to be on a carousel of having these coaches in. He's 7 years in. Some coaches are special. And they figure it out sooner, before 7 years in. Within the 7 years, he did give you a Super Bowl appearance. I know people tired of hearing that because that's old news, but it ain't that far away versus how it was before we got our first playoff win after 30 years. We didn't have one since 91. And then we didn't have a Super Bowl appearance until 89, the 89 season. And then Boomer left, Icky gone, James Brooks, no, all the Super Bowl people gone. You know what I'm saying? So you had to move on, and it was just a whole carousel of coaches coming in that was not good, and it just wasn't, you know, just wasn't a good fit, and it just seemed like they just wanted to get a payday and move on. Kind of how like I know with the college with UC, coaches, you know what I'm saying, come in, you know, stay a few years or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then like Brian Kelly, you know what I'm saying? He was here with the football team, and then I think he got his dream job with Notre Dame. And then he went wherever he went. I think he at LSU now, you know what I'm saying? But we done had some dope coaches come through, but they didn't plan to stay a while. You know what I'm saying? They was gonna stay a little longer, but they wasn't gonna be here for longevity, you know what I'm saying? So it was just, you know, we just a stop. Seems like Zach, you know, this ain't just one, I ain't just trying to get a stop. I'm trying to win here. You know what I'm saying? Again, when people wanted him to tank for Tua and all that, and just go 0-16 and get all the top picks. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to win now. I got that clip somewhere, but I'm trying to win now. You know what I'm saying? We want to be able to build off of, have some momentum. You know what I'm saying? But you can't have too much momentum if you just tank.
Again, I believe in the people that we've hired. I sit in there, I watch these guys coach. I know what they're made of. I know where we can continue to grow. And so when you believe in people, you don't just make a gut reaction from what people want to see that aren't necessarily a part of it. I understand the frustration. I get it. I'd be frustrated too if I was outside the building. We're going to get it fixed. We're going to continue to work it. I trust every coach we got in this building to get it done, or else they wouldn't be here. We wouldn't hire them in the first place. And so, again, I got a firm belief that we can get this done, and we can do it with the players we have, and find a way to get some wins. And again, there's some things we got to clean up. We got to do better. There's a coaching side of that too, where we got to find ways to push the right buttons for these guys to get them exactly to do it how we want to do it.
If you are sleeping in a
But I trust we can.
Had a little ad pop up. Fans, I hear you, but you're not qualified. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want y'all support, and we're doing what we can. You know what I'm saying? But I would say until then, go on about y'all business. You know what I'm saying? Until we attractive enough again, you know, we understand. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be upset too. You know what I'm saying? But we working. We working. You know what I'm saying? Y'all continue to keep on working, fans. You know what I'm saying? You know, whether y'all decide to support us or not. You know what I'm saying? But we're not giving up here. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to just fire everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's the trend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to have 20 different quarterbacks and stuff like that, like Cleveland, and you know what I mean, and even the carousel coaches that they done had since they've been back in '99. So I don't know. I guess the process is stale, but
I'm not sure how much this really matters or not, but those two big young guys, the linebackers, who spoke to us yesterday, and it kind of prompted questions about if there's enough defensive accountability that you'll have on that side of the ball to the field, along with some kind of how they operate with us, if there is enough defensive accountability.
I think guys got to continue to step up. I'm not afraid for young guys to step up. You know, it doesn't have to be a veteran. It doesn't have to be a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year veteran. It can be a young guy that's done things the right way and is accountable and the guys respond to, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But I think those young linebackers have leadership qualities, and guys see the way they work and how much it means to them. And so if they were to speak, I think that guys would listen to them. You know, and I think there's a lot of guys that fit that. I remember Sam Hubbard going through this as a young player, kind of afraid to speak because there were other veterans in the room that kind of had that position, and always pushing him to guys respect the way you work. And eventually that clicked for him. He took over that ownership and was a tremendous.
You still think it's coaching? If you know, you're afraid to speak up, you see some imperfection, you know what I'm saying? And then for him to vouch for Sam Hubbard like that, you know what I'm saying? Sam must have been doing great work. But hold your brothers accountable, man. That's, to me, that's a part of coaching, is inspiring your players, you know what I'm saying, to be the best them. So if you're doing work and you put in the work, you know what I'm saying, being influence on your fellow brother, you know what I'm saying, and help him. Especially as somebody if a player is seeking that, let them latch on, you know what I'm saying, and show them the way. You know what I mean? Especially if y'all about the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's a part of coaching, is influencing your players to inspire others, you know what I'm saying, and hold your people accountable.
This leadership for us. There's similar positions I feel right now where we're pushing guys. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to step on toes. We just want to win games. We want everyone to be accountable. And if you got leadership qualities, step up and say something. And sometimes there's quiet leadership too, guys just doing what they do and doing it the right way, and guys respond to that as well. So that when they do speak every so often, then it really resonates with other guys, and we got some of that as well.
One of those young guys is Dylan Fairchild on the offensive line. How do you think he's fared since he's come back from?
Yeah, I think he's continued to make a lot of improvement. I think both he and Jalen are gaining a lot from this experience. They're surrounded by veterans. They're surrounded by two captains. So again, you're seeing that play from them continue to develop. I thought yesterday they both had good games. So it's, again, things that we're going to continue to grow on, and excited about the futures.
How does Joe Flacco feeling today?
I'm sure he feels awful. I'm sure he feels terrible, and because I know what he went through last week. I know what he sacrificed for this team. People may never know the full extent of what he did, but what an unbelievable week that he had, performance that he had. You've kind of heard me get up here and just quote about what he did, because it's everybody that's around him knows what he just did for this team. And I'm sure he can't even pick up his arm today, and he's with his 5 kids right now. Send him out of here, get out of here. You need to go home. You've done everything you can do for us right now. You're not going to do us much good today and tomorrow. So again, he needs that, and we'll see where he's at next week. I'm sure he's going to be in a lot of pain as this week continues, but he can't get it out of him. I can't get him to tell me he's in pain. I know it. I can see it.
He's a gladiator.
Like, but you can't get him to say it, which says a lot about him.
What was his reaction to get out of here?
He's thankful. I think he's thankful. Yeah.
That's coaching. Hey, we appreciate you, man. Go rest up. We're going to need you in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Till then, I'm going to keep working and trying to find a way to get everybody else on a professional level. You got to get it.
You mentioned yesterday, Zach, how much you have to fight every day to maintain your culture, not let this become an offense-defense thing. Chase Brown unloaded some frustration yesterday. Do you want players to have the freedom to vent, or do you have to talk to them?
Not if you're not doing everything you can on your own, and I've pointed that out with Chase. There's 2 big plays that we could have done better that would have led to points. And so I think I liked Jamar a little bit better. I can tell Jamar's frustrated, but he didn't want guys coming at him if he's had a poor performance or something that he was disappointed in. So I trust that that's a one-time thing, and we'll learn from that. That's not how we want to react. And one of our best players, one of our highest character players, I think in a moment's frustration said that. And I don't expect that to happen.
Chase had the drop. What was not there?
Miscommunication.
Old Marvin Lewis saying, do your job. That's it. You sit there and be frustrated and say, finish the fucking game. Yeah, all right. Don't drop passes when they come to you either. Have better vision, you know what I'm saying, when you carrying the ball, and et cetera, et cetera. Do your job. Continue to keep on doing your job, you know what I'm saying? And again, if you're feeling guys ain't hoping up that end of the bargain, step up and say something. But if you ain't doing your work, if you ain't carrying yourself a certain way, pretty much limited. So that's my coach till he ain't my coach. You know what I mean? I'm not about to run him up out. He know this game better than I do. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why he in the position that he in. I know a lot of people don't want to look at it like that because, they feel that they can do better. Show me. Because, it's easy to sit there and type some stuff and stuff like that. And I'm tired of it. All right. But you keep on spending your money with the team. And they're going to continue to keep on marketing because it's a business. Football is a business. Beyond just entertainment and a sport. So everybody hold themselves accountable. Hold your brothers accountable. Lead by example. That's ideal. So Ain't gonna go too long-winded than I have. Appreciate you watching. Who Dey all day, every day. We up through.